Hi, welcome back to Tap Tech Tap It to Tech It. I've had the PS5 Pro for over 4 months now. In that time, I've put in hundreds of hours of gaming. So I think now's the right time for a proper long-term review. Not just what it looks like or the specs, but what it's actually like to live with and use this console every day, because here's the truth, the PS5 Pro is expensive. It's not a small upgrade, and it's not for everyone. But is it really worth it? That's what I'm going to help you figure out today. We'll compare it to the standard PS5, look at the games, the upgrades, the issues, and whether or not it deserves a place in your setup. When PlayStation announced the Pro, they promised some major upgrades. First, more storage. You now get 2 terabytes instead of the original 825 gigabytes or 1 terabyte on the Slim. That's great, especially with how big modern games have gotten. Then there's the GPU upgrade, 67% more power than the standard PS5. They also talked about better ray tracing and a new technology called PSSR, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. This is Sony's version of advanced upscaling. It promises higher frame rates and better image quality at the same time. On paper, all of that sounds amazing. But what really matters is how it plays. And that's where things start to get a bit more complicated, because not every game benefits from these upgrades. Only games that are labeled as a PS5 Pro Enhanced will take full advantage of the Pro hardware. You'll see a little icon for these games either in the PlayStation Store or on the game case. But that icon doesn't explain what's changed. Sometimes it's higher resolution. Sometimes it's better lighting. Sometimes, it's nothing, unless the developer tells us exactly what's been upgraded. It's hard to know. That's one of the downsides. There's no standard way of communicating what improvements are included with the Pro enhancements. You kind of have to play the game yourself to see what's different. Still, I've tested a lot of these games. And I've seen what works and what doesn't. So let's start with the highlights. First up, PSSR. This is one of the key reasons you'd buy a Pro. It lets the console deliver better image quality without tanking your frame rate. Some games now hit 4K at 60 frames per second, or even 120 frames per second. And they still look sharp and detailed. With HDR and VRR, the results are often stunning. If you have a TV or monitor that supports these features, you'll definitely notice the difference, but that's the thing, you need a good screen. If you don't have a 4K display, or something that supports 120 Hz, you won't get the full experience. That's not the Pro's fault, but it's something you should know before spending the extra money. Now let's talk about actual games. One of the first I tested was Assassin's Creed Shadows. Even on the base PS5, this game looks beautiful. But on the Pro, with PSSR and enhanced settings, it looks even better. The lighting is more realistic. The shadows and textures are sharper. And the frame rate holds steady at 60. It feels smoother and more immersive. Another one is GT7, Gran Turismo. This game was one of the first to get the Pro update. And while the difference isn't huge, it's still noticeable. You get ray tracing during gameplay, better lighting, and even 8K resolution options in photo mode. Plus, if you use the PSVR 2, you'll notice some VR improvements as well. Then there's Stellar Blade. This game absolutely blew me away. It already looked good when it launched. But with the Pro, the reflections, shadows, and visual effects take it to another level. The combat feels faster. The cutscenes look like they're straight out of a high-budget animated film. If you want to see what the PS5 Pro can really do, this is a great place to start. Horizon Forbidden West is another big title that gets a solid upgrade on the Pro. The open-world visuals are stunning. With the extra power, trees and grass look more detailed. Lighting is sharper. Reflections in water and metal look more accurate. It just feels more polished. And it still hits a stable 60 frames per second, which is key for smooth gameplay. The Last of Us Part 2 is also impressive. This game was built for the PS4 originally, but it's been updated to run on PS5. And now with the Pro, you get 4K at 60 frames per second using PSSR. That makes an already emotional and immersive game feel even more cinematic. Spider-Man 2 runs smoother on the Pro as well. The resolution bump is small, but the game just feels cleaner overall. The city looks crisper, and the swinging is incredibly fluid. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also benefits from Pro enhancements. Better textures, more lighting effects, and smoother frame rates all add up to a more impressive experience. Now, here's something a bit unexpected: some Xbox games actually look better on the PS5 Pro. Forza Horizon 5 is a great example. Thanks to PSSR, the Pro can match the quality mode visuals while running in performance mode. That means you get the best of both worlds, high frame rate and great image quality. Doom: The Dark Ages is another one. It plays smoother, looks sharper, and feels more intense on the Pro. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle runs at 60 frames per second in 4K on the Pro. On the base PS5, it's only 1440p. That's a big difference. And you'll feel it in every cutscene and every gameplay segment. There are more titles like Gears of War Reloaded and others that show real visual improvements on the Pro. And the list keeps growing. Looking ahead, things get even more exciting. Death Stranding 2 is coming soon, and the visuals already look next-gen. I can't wait to see how this game performs on the Pro. Then there's Ghost of Yote, Mafia, The Old Country, and the upcoming 007, First Light. We already know these games will be Pro-enhanced. 007 is confirmed to run at 60 frames per second in quality mode, but the big one, the game everyone's waiting for, is GTA 6. It's expected in 2026. And based on what we've seen, this game will push the PS5 Pro to its limits. I think it's going to be one of those titles where the Pro version looks significantly better than the base PS5. That brings us to storage. This is one area where the Pro really shines. You get 2 terabytes of internal space. That's double what the Slim offers, and way more than the launch PS5. With games now regularly taking up 100 gigabytes or more, that extra space is a big deal. I've installed dozens of titles and still have room to spare. It's just one less thing to worry about. Now let's talk design. The PS5 Pro looks similar to the Slim, but it's a bit taller. The extra vents on the side make it look more powerful. A bit more aggressive. It feels like a real Pro console, even if it's not a total redesign. The faceplates are still removable, just like on the standard PS5. But 6 months in, we still don't have any official PlayStation faceplates for the Pro. I don't know why it's taking so long. I've been waiting for the midnight black ones forever. There are third-party options, sure, but they don't have the PlayStation branding. Hopefully, Sony gives US official covers soon. Let's also talk about the disk drive. But on the base PS5, you can choose a version with or without a disk drive. On the Pro, it only comes without one. That means if you want to use physical disks, you'll need to buy the external drive separately. It costs about $70 or £80. I picked one up, and I've used it a lot. I have a big collection of discs and steelbooks, so it made sense for me. But it would have been nice if the drive came included with the Pro, considering the price now. Are there any things I'd like to see improved? Definitely. At first, we need more transparency in the PlayStation Store. Every Pro enhanced game should list the specific upgrades it includes. Better lighting? Higher resolution? New modes? Tell us. Right now, we're left guessing. That shouldn't be the case. Second, the Pro should feel more special. Maybe more wallpapers, UI themes, or even a new dashboard color. Just something to make it feel more like a premium device. And finally, please release those official faceplates. It's such a small thing, but for fans who care about aesthetics, it matters. Now comes the big question: is the PS5 Pro worth it for most people? The answer is probably no. If you just want to play the latest games and you're not obsessed with having the absolute best graphics or frame rate, the standard PS5 is still an amazing console. It's cheaper, and it plays all the same games, but if you have a high-end 4K display, maybe even an OLED, and you want the best experience possible, the Pro is a solid choice. Especially as more games get enhanced, the gap between the standard and Pro will only grow. You're also giving yourself a bit of future proofing. We know the PS6 is coming at some point, but until then, the Pro is the best way to play for me. The PS5 Pro has been worth it. I noticed the difference, and I enjoy the improved visuals and performance. Games like Stellar Blade, Horizon, and Spider-Man just feel better. And with titles like GTA 6 on the horizon, I think the value will only increase. So, what do you think? Do you own the PS5 Pro? Are you planning to get one? Or are you sticking with the standard PS5? Drop a PS5 Pro in the comments if you made it to the end of this video. I appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this review, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you press the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching Tap Tech. Until next time.